Everyone. Week 13 of NBA Sorare is right around the corner, and we have so much to talk about. There's so many updates, so many things going on, and many preparations to do for next week. We're going to go over my lineups, my previous ones, the ones I'm planning for this week. We're going to go over quickly the new competitions we're going to have in the next few weeks. I'm going to show you some of my value plays for this week. I'm also going to show you a tweet that I just made, and we're going to go over it with my analysis for this week. And also a few more things on the way. So let's just jump into it. Week 12 was a massive win for me. Also week 11, I had back-to-back weeks that I was top 100 in champion competition. Last week it was in the limited Western competition. Let me show you guys. Okay, never mind. I got a reward, a tier 2. I got a Kyle Kuzma, sold it. This week I'm projected, not projected because it's already over. I'm gonna get, because it's the limited champion. If you end up in the top 150, you also get a rare. So I'm gonna get a rare tier 3 projected. I went over the list. I'm excited about the players I can get. The other limited competitions didn't go that well. I did get a limited tier 5 here, but the rare competition I'm also at in the contender also gave me a rare tier number 3. So I'm excited to get 2 rewards of a rare tier 3 card, and I did really good. I had Luka, and he had a bounce back week after last week's performance wasn't so well. I was lucky enough to play Jeremy Grant and Reggie Jackson, which was one of the best outperformance in the week. Added Sexton Mary and go ahead and lock that top 100, which went well. And right now, if we're going to go to upcoming, then we can go ahead and start getting ready for the week ahead. First, let me show you guys some of my things on Twitter. First and foremost, if you're not following me, then I want you to know I make consistent content also on Twitter. For example, so before game week 12, I posted this on November 28th. So I posted a few suggested lineups that I think could be good ideas for limited contender. This was one of them. If you play this suggested lineup, you got a tier 3 reward. And the other suggested lineup that I made, that's this one right here. I made the calculation, and it actually gave you 213 points, which was top 20 in limited contender. I didn't use it myself because I used some of those players in my rare contender. So I mixed it up, but as a suggestion, it could have landed you a top 20 spot. So you should definitely check out my suggestions. I'm not going to hit that good every single week, but I am going to give value for free on Twitter and on my YouTube every single week. Let's go over really quickly my thread that I just made. So we're getting ready to game week number 13. I started by saying there are 22 teams that are playing twice. They're listed over here. You can check that out on my Twitter. I'm not going to say it now one by one. And a matchup that I really like is happening tonight between the Spurs and the Pelicans. As I'm writing here, I like it because it's going to be a high-scoring game, most likely. And also, both teams are short-handed. Like the Spurs are missing Sohan and Jakob Poeltl, and maybe a few more players. I know that the Pelicans are missing Brandon Ingram, and also they're missing Herb Jones. So there's plenty of upside to go around. I know CJ McCollum is probable, so should be back today. And to have CJ and Zion with no Ingram gives both of them a higher usage rate. So I really like CJ and Zion for tonight. I also really like Dyson Daniels. He's projected to start. Trey Murphy. At the Spurs side, if you're looking for a mid-cap play, Bates Diop and Zach Collins at 22 with the starting role could be valid options. Let's go to the next one is the Hawks. I really like a lot of plays by the Hawks because they are also really, really short-handed. Let me show you what Underdog is saying. So I went over the injuries in Underdog. This is where I get some of my injury updates. And check this out. John Collins is probably going to miss 2 weeks. And who else we got? Let me look for specifically the Hawks updates. Oh, sorry. I'm going to get to it in a second. Actually, what I can do is, sorry. What I can do is I can just, instead of going one by one, I can just go to their main page, hit on the main article, and just go here to the Hawks. So, let's see. Oh, this was actually yesterday. My bad. So here's what I wanted to show you. John Collins is supposed to be out for about 2 weeks. And if I scroll down a bit further, then I can see a few more updates that we got last night on the Hawks. Here it is. So Justin Holiday is health and safety protocols. He's out. Kaminsky, questionable. Jalen Johnson, questionable. If he plays, he's an awesome play at a cap of 10 points, but he's questionable, so stay tuned. Capella is questionable. Okongu can be interesting. Bogdanovich is questionable. Hunter is out. John Collins is out. So at the bottom line, we have so many players that are either questionable or out, like DeAndre Hunter and Collins. So their projected lineup is supposed to have AJ Griffin and maybe Jalen Johnson if he ends up playing tonight. So this is what I said right here. I really like Griffin, Jalen Johnson, and actually Culver is the diamond in the rough. So if we go to Culver, let's see here. There we go. Last game he played 29 minutes, and that was even though Collins was in, and also DeAndre Hunter played only 7 minutes, but it's still a few minutes. So he scored 28 fantasy points. And I think if he got 30 minutes last game when Collins was in and when Hunter played close to 10 minutes, then I don't see a reason why he's not going to play a close amount to this type of minutes tonight. So I think Culver at a cap of 6 is a great upside play. He can give you 3 or 4 or 5x, which is really good. So that's about the Hawks. About Golden State is my next take. So they're playing back-to-back games. They're playing, I think tonight and tomorrow they're playing the Rockets. Now, if you follow the NBA, if you follow the Golden State, then you know Steve Kerr likes to rest Clay in back-to-back, and sometimes he goes overboard and resting the entire starting lineup. So Jordan Poole with Clay out is also a good play to me, especially against a team like the Rockets, which is poor defensively. And I also like Kuminga because his cap is 11, and lately he's been getting more minutes, even when everyone's playing. So if Clay's out and if more players are out, that's just a bigger upside. But Kuminga has also gave like, I think it was close to 30 fantasy points even last game with everyone healthy. So I think Kuminga is one of the best plays you can do in this week's slate. Here's a few suggested lineups that I'm making. One of them is CJ, Poole, Griffin, Culver, Mathurin. I like Mathurin because the Pacers are playing twice and he's in good shape. Also, Halliburton is questionable, so that could be interesting. You can switch McCollum with Ant. Ant only plays once, but since Cat is out, Ant is also interesting. So I made this another suggestion to play Ant, Poole, Sexton, AJ Griffin, and Kuminga, which is another lineup that you can play in contender tournament. So you can check out my tweet. If you like it, you can share it or like it. So that's my thread about game week 13. This is some of my most important takes. And yeah, and I think a lot of people are in the Hawks are really good plays. I also really like a lot of people in the Pelicans. I mentioned CJ. I've mentioned Zion. Herb is out. Dyson Daniels is a great play. Devontae Graham can be sneaky. Nance, I'm not sure if he's playing or not. Alvarado off the bench can be solid, but is not my favorite play. Valanciunas, I didn't mention in my Twitter, but is also a very interesting play, especially when his cap is at 22. Very high upside. So there's not much wrong you can go if you're playing Pelicans players tonight, in my opinion. And they also got 2 games, so I really, really like it. Okay, I'll show you my last value purchases. I got McCollum today. I got Culver and Griffin last night when I heard about the news. I think they're more expensive now. And I also got Van Vliet, and this is my last plays as well. I got Trey Mann because I saw SJ miss the last game. I got Ant because with D'Lo out, I think he's a stud, and I like the cap at 37. And let me show you guys why I got Fred VanVleet. I think this is a subject that we don't talk about enough, is value buying relatively to cap changes. So right now, VanVleet cap is 40. Now, check out his last games, 17, 25, 44, 22, 33. If you click here on Fred, you can see his last 10 games. Now, why am I showing you this? Because if you get Fred VanVleet and his cap is 40 or his cap is 35 or 30, that's completely different value, because Fred VanVleet is a guy that in a good night can give you between 40 to 60 fantasy points. Now, if his cap is at 40, it's a bit risky, but if it's 35 or 30, it's a very upside play. So it's all cap related. We live in a world of cap, you know, so we got to make adjustments. We got to find value. So I'm trying to be one step ahead of the value, meaning I buy him now because he's still at a cap of 40. And next week when he's like 35 or 30, price should be way more expensive because he's way more attractive to play and has way more upside. So if we can see in his last game, he had a 13-point performance. He had 57, 51, and 62. So in the next few games VanVleet plays, because of it's doing a 10-game average, this 57, 51, and 62 performances are soon going to be deleted. And look at his plays after that. This is very drastic. Very, very drastic. So soon to be, I assume VanVleet cap will go around 30 points. So I want to buy it now at a decent price before the price jumps up, because his upside is much, much bigger. This is why I got him. There's a few more players like that that I kind of have my eye on. I might make a whole separate video about it, but I just wanted to share my thought process on this. Okay. About this week's plays, there are many ways and avenues I can go with. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at in the champion. So I'm looking to play Luka. He's my usual play in this limited champion. I'm going to stick with my boy Anthony Simons. If you watch me, you know I love Anthony Simons, especially when Dame is out. So I'm going to stay with him. He got me many rewards. I'm going to play Ant. I'm going to play CJ. And I have 7 points left. So that's a perfect spot to add Jarrett Culver. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm really, really high on this line, on this lineup. Doncic, Simons, and CJ Culver. I think it's a great, great upside lineup to play in the limited champion. If you don't have Luka, you can still do the same lineup and use another star, like anyone you have that's good. You know, it could be a Tatum, it could be a Morant, it could be even Halliburton, whoever you have. But I think this is a very, very good upside play for this week. This is what I'm planning to go with. And that's pretty much it. Before we finish today's video, I'm just going to say a few words that I love. I absolutely love the new competitions they are doing here in Sorare. They're going to have in weeks 13 to 17 a no cap, or 14 to 17 no cap and underdog, which at the bottom line, no cap, you can play any player you want. It's good for high-end collectors. The underdog It's gonna be at a cap of 60. Where it is? It says that somewhere in here. There it is. So basically, it's going to be a competition who could have the best scoring performance when you don't go over 60 in your cap. So we're going to have to keep an eye on low cap players. I'm going to make a separate video about that soon, but it's only going to be in weeks, I think 16 and 17 in the limited. So we still got time to prepare. I absolutely love what Sorare is doing. I think the platform is on a very good sentiment. I'm having so much fun winning rewards, interacting with friends, enjoying the games more. I hope you guys as well. So that was my 2 cents. Last thing I'm going to mention is that if you want to hear more analysis, I'm going live before lock almost every Friday, not on my channel, on the Team Hall channel. So shout out to Mike and the Team Hall group. Tonight, about a couple of hours before the game starts, we're gonna go, I think, around 5 or 5:30 Eastern time, PM, give or take. We're gonna go live, me and Mike, show a few projections, and just talk about the latest injuries and our plays. And it's gonna be a live stream. So if you don't know their channel and if you wanna see us live before lock, I'm gonna also post it on my Twitter, so stay tuned. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So I hope you got some value, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.